This one is about your personal legend. You may be familiar with the phrase personal legend. It comes from one of my favorite books, The Alchemist. I really like the idea of personal legend. It refers to one's unique purpose or destiny in life. In our case, we'll call this the North Star, and that's what we're going to talk about today. For eons, explorers have used the North Star as their unshakable, immovable guide. Your North Star, it's incredibly important because it provides consistent, immovable guidance for all important aspects of your life. The science behind your North Star in making decisions really shows that it has a positive impact. When we connect our actions to our higher purpose, our neurotransmitters like dopamine and oxytocin, the brain's happiness and reward chemicals, flood our neural networks, boosting our motivation, focus, and our feeling of fulfillment. For those of you who are interested in going a little bit deeper into this, the specific brain regions that we're talking about are the ventral striatum and the anterior cingulate cortex. These regions are involved in processing pleasure, motivation, and emotional regulation. At this point, you may be saying, this is all good in theory, but what if I don't have a North Star? How do you find your North Star? Well, just like the actual North Star, it's usually there. You just have to know where to look. To find your personal North Star, you don't look out in the sky, instead you look deep into yourself. So here are a few practical ways to uncover your personal North Star. Number one, engage in self-reflection. So review your personal life, make a list of 5 to 7 areas in which you excel. So for example, maybe you're very good at mentoring others. Maybe you have a keen ability to see the big picture, or you're a person who sees minute details. This list can provide one ingredient to help you identify your North Star. For this reflection, I recommend a walk. In the words of Kierkegaard, I have walked myself into my best thoughts. 2, seek input from others. After you feel like you have some clarity for yourself, get input from others. Share the definition of your North Star and ask 2 or 3 people you trust about it. In fact, specifically ask them to identify a North Star for you. What would it be if I had a North Star? Okay, ask them this. And then analyze this information. So next, identify patterns and themes. Reflect on the information from your self-reflection and from your trusted allies. List any reoccurring patterns or connections. These connections can offer really important clues as far as your North Star is concerned. Finally, craft a compelling North Star statement. This is like creating your own personal superhero catchphrase. It's the statement that encapsulates your essence and propels you forward in the face of challenges and villains. Articulate your North Star in 1 or 2 sentences. So writing it concisely is important because the statement allows you to remember and, importantly, act on your North Star. Remember that we talked about the North Star as being the first of the 2 twin flames. The second of the twin flames is your personal values. Values are your dharma, your moral compass. Values tell you how to behave in any situation. The simple truth about values is the more you align your life to your values, the happier, healthier, and more successful you are. This isn't just philosophy, this is science. For example, a 2008 study by Sheldon and Kasser explored the relationship between aligning actions and personal values and how that impacted psychological well-being. They found that individuals who pursued activities consistent with their intrinsic values reported higher levels of satisfaction and vitality. The bottom line is, again, values become the moral compass on your hero's journey. How do you find your values if you don't already have them? We did a whole series of journal prompts that will give you a step-by-step process that should help. So we'll do a summary here, and of course, feel free to check the link below with the details of the journal prompt. There are a series of steps here. So step 1, list 10 moments of joy in your life. This is actually a super fun process. If you have children, then you can only use 2 of your 10 moments for this, because lots of us would use all 10 moments. But let me give you a few examples. Have you ever experienced the joy of a child's hug? A great adventure that you've gone on, and some significant accomplishments. These are the kinds of things that I'm talking about for your 10 moments of joy. Step number 2, look at those moments and identify patterns or reoccurring themes that you have. For example, did you notice that connection kept coming up, adventure, challenge, accomplishments, or fitness? Any of these things that came up on repetitive patterns. Step number 3, use these reoccurring themes to help decide what's important to you. It's not that your values need to be aligned perfectly with your reoccurring themes, but this can help you hone in on the types of things that have been meaningful to you in the past. Step number 4, write your values in an actionable phrase. So rather than writing gratitude as a value, maybe you could write be grateful. This value, this phrasing tells you what you need to do. Try to have a few key values. I think 4 or 5 is plenty. If you start going beyond that, it's just a list. Multiple studies have explored the relationship between living in accordance with your values and mission. Aligning our actions with our values stabilize our decision-making and action, and this leads to less stress and more success. So diving a little deeper into this, the alignment of values and mission actually activates regions associated with self-relevance and a sense of cohesion and meaning for your life. So just in case you're interested, the brain regions that light up in this sense include the medial prefrontal cortex and the posterior cingulate cortex. When you live in alignment with your values and mission, it activates these areas, reinforcing a sense of self-relevance and personal significance. The other way to say this is when you live your life on purpose, your brain rewards you so that you will continue to live your life on purpose. Make decisions like your life depends on it, because the life you want depends on the decisions you make.